Okay, I don't know if people can still see me.
I'm gonna go.
Um,
It says live.
yeah, you can see it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, it's up again. You're back up.
All right, sorry about that, everyone. The internet went down. This is the third, well, it went down earlier. I had two spikes, power spikes, and I don't know what that's damaged, but it just cut out on me. So imagine by now everybody's off. It's taken about 10 minutes to come back. So anyways, we'll just leave it at that, I guess. And so apparently there were, I was talking with one of the moderators, and there were some who were deleted from the chat because they were misbehaving. What how else can we say it? I mean, we're adults. We can be civilized, and we can talk in a civilized manner and not make accusations and be belligerent. But you know, if you're going to act that way, you shouldn't be surprised if somebody says bye bye. Okay, well, I guess that's it. I don't. Hold on. I'm going to turn off my mic here. Good, the chat is back up. Okay, let me see if I can navigate to it. Maybe I can just turn it on here. Okay, and I'm new to this. I'm gonna. Yes? I am sorry for the confusion. We had the internet just drop out completely. Ah, I was wondering because I was trying to go to the next scripture. Could you type your question again, or at least the scripture? It relates to Nomadic Hebrew because I have lost it now. Ah, thank you. Okay. Yeah, my internet went down, just gone. That's twice, and it's been a very, very reliable internet since I've been here. Of course, the one day things start acting up is the day I need it most. 5:17. Okay, now let's see, go to the next verse. There we are. For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter nor the least stroke of a pen will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. Right? Okay. So he came to fulfill the law. When you fulfill something, when you complete it, it's over. Right? And Jesus fulfilled the law. So from Jesus on, there was no need for the law anymore. The tutor had brought us to the Christ. So now we have a new law, the law of the Christ. You have to think, what was the big battle they fought in the first century? You find it in most of Paul's letters. And it was the battle with the Judaizers that wanted to get circumcision. They weren't trying to get the law, they were trying to get circumcision. Why? Because circumcision was the thin edge of the wedge. If they could get them to accept circumcision, then they could pound that wedge in. Pretty soon they'd all be Jews again. So God tolerated them. And if you look at Paul's letters and the time they were written, at the beginning, he's kind of reasoning with them. He's coming up with logic. At the end, one of the last times he references them, I can't think of what verse it's in or what letter, but he essentially says, I wish they'd just castrate themselves. I love Paul. I love the way he wrote. He was just getting fed up with them because 20 years had gone by and they were still pushing circumcision, even though it had been ruled by the originators of the whole idea that it wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary. So, if circumcision, which predates the law but is included in the law, is not necessary, why would we think that all 600 laws are necessary? Now, of course, I agree that we still don't kill. Law says we don't kill. Well, that's a timeless law. But the other thing is the Sabbath. People say, well, what about Sabbath? That's a big thing. I'm going to do a video on the Sabbath. So I'm just giving you a thumbnail sketch here. But there was a sister who joined our meetings a long time ago, and she was a great promoter of the Sabbath. And I came to the point where I just asked her, well, how do you celebrate the Sabbath? How do you keep it? Because, that's the thing. You got to keep the Sabbath. Okay, fine. How? What do you have to do to keep it? And she was silent. It's like she never thought about it before. I'll tell you how you keep the Sabbath according to the law. You don't work. You take a day off. Hey, cool. I like that. Take a day off. No work. That's all. There's nothing about anything else. They didn't all go to temple on the Sabbath. They went to temple 3 times a year because it was a multi-day trip to get to the temple. So when they kept the Sabbath, they didn't work, and their animals didn't work, and their slaves didn't work. It was a forced rest because God knew that if he didn't make it a law, they would work everybody to death because they were after money. So he made it a law. You have to take a day off. Everybody. That's cool. I'm cool with that. But I'm not going to make it a law because it's not a law anymore. Use your good judgment. But I think it's great to take a day off. It doesn't have to be Friday at 6 o'clock to Saturday at 6 o'clock anymore. Pick a day and enjoy yourself. Relax. Let your mind free of all the worries. Okay, Matthew 11:11. We've been wrestling with the scripture for a long time. Matthew 11:11. See what that says. I tell you, among those born of women, there has not risen anyone greater than John the Baptist, yet whoever is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. All right. Witnesses teach that this proves that John doesn't go to heaven, that no one prior to Jesus was part of the heavenly calling, the children of God. The trouble with that is there's a lot of scriptures that indicate quite the opposite. If you read the 11th chapter of Hebrews, it's all about a better resurrection. All they gave up for a better resurrection. And then there's Jesus talking about sitting in the kingdom of the heavens with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. When you think about what he's talking about, he said to his disciples that you will do greater works than I. This is Jesus Christ. And he's saying you will do greater works than I. So he's not talking about the value of the person here. He's talking about the accomplishments. John the Baptist laid the way for Jesus, and he had his own disciples. Jesus then had his disciples. Where are John's disciples today? They're gone. Where are Jesus' disciples today? A third of the world is Christian, and many of those are true Christians. So John's work is gone. All his work was merely to open the door for Jesus. So even the least in the kingdom of the heavens has done more than John, because John's work expired. I think that's what it's talking about. Now, this is an example of opinion versus truth. Okay? You might have a different point of view, but as long as your point of view doesn't contradict something in Scripture, it doesn't slander God in any way, I'm cool with it. I can respect you having a different opinion. As long as you don't come along and force people to accept your opinion, then I'm cool with that too. I think we all should be. Do I fast? No, I don't. Probably should. I have fasted in the past, but always to lose weight, never to, or for health reasons. If this is so, that Yeshua fulfilled the law, then as a follow-up, how come in Matthew 23 he says to keep doing what Moses said? Okay, he was talking to the Jews. You'll have to look at the context. He's not telling me to keep doing what Moses said. He's telling the Jews to keep, he's saying, don't do what they do what they say. He's telling the Jews to follow the religious leaders. Now he told the Jews that the religious leaders were hypocrites. And he told them they'd all be killed. And they all were killed. He called them murderers in one of his parables. But in the context there, at that time, keep doing it. Don't go rebelling against it. That's what he's saying. Hi from Denmark, Bjorn. Good to see you. I just started to do what Moses says. That's fine. Yep. They were Jews. Of course they would do what Moses said. The law was still valid. The law didn't end until Jesus died. He didn't fulfill the law until his death. That's what Daniel said at the middle of the week. The law ceased to be. The covenant was kept in force for another 3.5 days because the covenant was with the Jews. That's why Gentiles didn't come in to the Christian congregation until 3.5 years after Jesus died. That's when the covenant ended. Any other questions? Gabriel, no, no hay manera de que salga con traducción, pero a las 3 de la tarde, o sea, en hora y media, vamos a hacer la misma cosa en español, ya en el canal Los Bereanos. Okay, I've answered everything. All right, I'm going to have to go because I have to prepare for a Spanish meeting in an hour and a half, and I haven't had lunch. Nebraska here. Hello, Nebraska and Washington. Good for you. Thank you, Marilyn. All right, this has been fun. I'm sorry about the internet problem. I hope it doesn't happen again, especially with the Spanish meeting coming up soon. Thank you all. I'm going to be doing this more often, although much shorter. Not so much Q&As, but just brief presentations on one point. But of course, the chat will always be open, so it'll give me an opportunity to answer questions. God bless you all. Oh, one last thing. Our dear brother Ezekiel, who works so hard in the Spanish and has been such a support to me, has come down with a serious case of COVID. Ezekiel. So if you would pray for him, please. We believe in the power of prayer. Thank you very much. I'm going to end the stream now.